morning, everybody. It's Monday morning in the beautiful Okanagan. I'm here with Greg Bose. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Northern Graphite. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, or it's afternoon here, and in the beautiful Ottawa Valley, where it's 20 degrees, and it's only 4 degrees in the beautiful Okanagan Valley.
Yeah, well, at least we're not. I was talking to some friends in Flin Flon, and it was minus 11 there a couple of days ago. So we're blessed with some wonderful weather here, that's for sure. So just wanted to say congratulations, Greg. It's some fantastic news. The news release that came out this morning on the closing of the deal, and you know, all of us as long-term shareholders of Northern Graphite are extremely excited. Maybe just give us a quick update.
Yeah, well, this morning we announced that we finally closed the Imerys deal, which is the acquisition of their natural graphite division, 2 producing mines. It's been 14 months in the work. It's been a lot of in the works. It's been a lot of stress. It's been a lot of aggravation and a lot of ups and downs along that path. But the end result is worth. We now have moved from just another junior development stage company to a producer with 2 producing mines plus 2 large development projects. So a very strong growth profile as well. And now that we have this acquisition behind us, we can move forward and start with the second phase of our business plan, which is to significantly expand production and develop new mines, and also get involved in value-added processing and upgrading mine concentrate into anode material for batteries.
Well, certainly the market is highly interested in as we spoke in one of our last interviews about the exciting transformation of the electrification of the world, and it's a very interesting time. I was on a call with a very seasoned broker with CIBC recently, and we were talking about it. He had highlighted a chart with me about how if you took I think it was the 8 or 9 largest capitalized companies in the U.S., which are the Apples of the world and the Microsofts, and you looked at the returns of the Dow Jones. If you took the large caps out, those mega cap companies out, the Dow Jones had a negative rate of return. And I think that would come as a real surprise to most investors to realize that only a small number of names have been carrying the Dow Jones rate of return over the last 8 years. What's even more interesting is that if you look at year to date in 2022, most people again will be surprised that if you took those same companies out, we actually are up 3% on the Dow for the year. So I think what we're starting to see is a bit of a shift towards real assets and the copper stories and the graphite stories and the tin stories. And I'm not sure. I think it's an extremely exciting time for Northern Graphite, because what you've put together, making this a real production story is pretty exciting.
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, all the turmoil we've seen in the world over the last year or two has focused a lot of attention on the vulnerability of supply chains and the criticality of commodities, raw materials, resources, and they will never go away. You can't have a green revolution without lithium, cobalt, graphite. Mm-hmm. People don't traditionally think of mining as green, but you need mining to create the green economy. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting times. And I look at all the forecasts the automobile makers are making about critical mineral demand, and most of them will never achieve their sales forecasts because there is enough supply of the minerals they need, and they haven't moved downstream aggressively enough into stimulating the production of those minerals. So they're all going to end up trying to get through one small door at the same time looking for supply. And we've already seen the nickel price explode. We've seen the lithium price go on a couple very big runs over the last 5 or 6 years, and we're going to see the same thing with graphite and other minerals.
Just maybe we could just chat about that a bit. Certainly, get your views on the overall graphite price, because I think it's a tough one for the average investor to understand. It doesn't have the same kind of spot market as copper. So maybe talk a little bit about your view on the graphite price. And I guess the other thing, and we had talked sort of offline earlier about, the relative market cap of Northern Graphite. And, I think there's a wonderful opportunity for investors at this level to be investing in Northern Graphite compared to the peers. And now our peers are really global. We're not just one little project it's not even a little project. We're not just one project in Ontario. We've become a global producer now of graphite.
Sure. Let me start with kind of the pricing supply demand thing. This is true of most specialty minerals. They're smaller markets. They're less well known. Pricing is more opaque. And there are a lot of different grades and qualities. And, that's true with lithium. That's true with cobalt. That's true with graphite. So in fact, there isn't one price for the most part. So that's difficult for investors to get their heads around. But when prices take off, as they've done in lithium, all of that kind of gets washed away, and everybody says, who cares? The price has gone up 50% or 100% or whatever. And obviously the value of the assets, the value of the companies has gone up as well. So we've really seen investors get up the learning curve quite a ways in terms of the lithium market, which is also a little difficult to understand. And that will happen with graphite as well. There are a couple common grades, particularly the ones that are used to make battery anode material. And when those prices take off, it won't really matter. The trend is your friend, and sharply rising prices, shortages of supply, that's kind of, that's the place to be. In terms of Northern Graphite in particular, there are 25 or 30 development stage companies out there, mainly in Africa. A few in Australia, a few in South America, and a few in North America. I think you could make a very good argument that as a result of this acquisition, Northern Graphite has the best assets of anybody. And we have production now, which almost none of them have. We have near-term production increase opportunities. We're not talking $300 million to build a new mine. We're investing $15 million in Namibia to go from 0 to 30,000 tons a year within 9 to 12 months. And there are opportunities to expand our mine in Quebec. So we're going to be up to 50,000 tons a year of graphite production within a year. And that will make us the third largest outside of China. In addition to that, we have our Bissett Creek project here in Ontario, which has 80 to 100,000 tons a year of potential, and the Hard Rock resource in Namibia, which can support 100 to 150,000 tons a year. So we're not happy to be at 50. We're going to 200 or 300,000 tons a year over the next number of years. And those are the kinds of volumes that the battery market needs. 100,000 ton a year mine is a huge graphite mine. We need multiple mines like that in order to meet the sales projections of the automakers themselves. And Northern Graphite is going to be a big part of that. All of our projects are located in politically stable countries. Namibia is probably the best jurisdiction in Africa in which to operate. We have access to grid power. We're 5 hours from the main deep water port on the west coast of Africa, which provides very good access to European and to North American markets. So you put all that together, and then you look at our market cap, which is around 100 million Canadian right now. There are a number of graphite juniors with $300 to $500 million market caps that do not have what we have. So either they're coming down in price or we're going up in price. And I think it's pretty much going to be the latter, because we have the assets and we have the goods.
Well, once again, congratulations, Greg. I'm with Greg Bose. He's the CEO of Northern Graphite. You know, this announcement today is a culmination of a lot of hard work. And, you know, in the words of Greg himself, Northern's now very well positioned to benefit from the growth in the electric vehicle market, and, you know, has brought aboard some very strategic and well-known investors like Sprott Securities and Imerys, which is another global name. And so, not going to take too much more of your time this morning, Greg. I know you're probably busy answering the calls, and, you know, we're doing the same and getting the news out to the market. So once again, congratulations, and I guess I'm going to see you next week.
You will.
Yeah,
you will. I'll see you in Vancouver, and anybody that happens to be at the conference, please stop by the booth and say hello.
Yeah, everybody, make sure you just stop by the Northern Graphite booth, the Vancouver Resource Show next week in Vancouver. I think it's going to be very busy, you know, now with all the vaccination passports gone. So look forward to seeing you next week in Vancouver.
All right, sounds good, Sherman.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, thank you.